This is the Voodoo Wazoo Fatbike, 500 quid from Halfords. Currently, at the time of recording this, in the set 20% off sale, so $399. It's an absolute steal. It really is a bargain. Tyre pressures need to be really low if you're on this sort of terrain. This is really loose, chalky sort of stuff. Everything's slipping and sliding. Bit rutted here and there as well. You know, sort of thing I'd come over on the cross bike, so nothing gnarly. But don't know if you can get the sense of perspective. This is steep here. Probably somewhere in the region of about 8% climb going up onto the South Downs. And as you can hear, I'm seriously suffering cardio wise. And a lot of that is due to the gearing on the bike. It's definitely too tall for this sort of bike and the sort of terrain you'll probably want to put this bike on. I've read the reviews online from previous buyers as well. Everyone seems to be in agreement, geared a little bit too tall. A lot of people saying they're never getting out of the granny ring on this. For you beginners out there, that is the smaller of the two front chain rings seen there. Okay, so the lower ratio of the two. And I've hardly been in the big chain ring on the front since riding this, just whenever it's a gentle slope downhill, basically on grass or something like that. But an amazing bike. Shimano hydraulic brakes at this price point is absolutely incredible, and they are decent brakes on there. Really doing a good job. I've got to get that shitty reflector off, that's terrible. But yeah, doing a really decent job on this bike. I love everything about it except the gearing. Front mech's decent as well, Dior mech on there as well, designed by Joe Murray, so it's a winner. Love the looks of this bike, love the feel of it. The frame feels really nice on this. Great chassis at this price point, nothing to complain about there at all. And there's nothing to complain about on this bike for this money, nothing at all. It's an incredible bike that will give you a good platform for upgrading in the future. What springs to mind immediately on this, it's a heavy bike. It's around about 16 kilos. Look at that scenery. What an amazing part of the world to live. Just come over from beyond that windmill as well, so we're on the way back home now. But yeah, back to the bike. A great platform to upgrade. First thing that springs to mind is the drivetrain. So it's a 2x8 on this with the Mega Range cassette, which I've never been a fan of. That jump from the gear it's on now to that biggest cog, so the easiest gear to turn, is just a sudden massive jump. Yeah, you can see all the others are in really nice evenly spaced ratio, and then you get to that last one and bang, it's a massive thing. And that's part of the problem as to why I've struggled on this hill here. That lowest gear, that biggest cog on the back, is too low for this. You're putting the power down on this stuff and it's just spinning that back wheel on there, even with the tyre pressure in the rear down to about 7-8 psi. But the gear it's in now, second gear, is just a bit too hard up here. So yeah, you need something in between those two gears, definitely, I would say. So yeah, I'm thinking probably a 1x10 system on there and a clutch rear mech as well to stop the chain slapping about. Okay gang, you can see why this was a bit of a struggle. This is me pushing the bike up here, and yeah, it's got about 12 to 15% in places here. Very loose surface as well for most of it, and the bike's just a bit too tall geared for its fat podgy weight. So yeah, that's the first upgrade that's going to go on there. 1x10 system with a clutch rear mech on there, with a broader range of ratios hopefully as well, but something a little bit closer on that first and second gear. Second is going to be the tyres. As a lot of bikes come out of the shops, they come with fairly cheap tyres and componentry on them to get the price point that they're aiming it at. Like I say, 500 quid, you definitely wouldn't complain. 399 is an absolute steal. I felt like I was going to get the police called on me when I took this out of Halfords. You can definitely get some lighter tyres. You could up-spec the tyres on this, and you'd save about a kilo and a half off the bike straight away. And same with the group set, or rather the chain set on there, and drop a little bit of weight with a 1x system. And yeah, get some weight off of the bike there as well, get better usable gears and a bit better quality on there as well, better shifting. But yeah, chassis, brakes on there, absolutely amazing. Probably going to change seat post and seat on it as well. It's a comfy seat. It's a really, I really like the seat. My wife's ridden this, she loved the bike as well, but it's heavy. It is really, really heavy, and for not a lot of money, you could probably knock off half a kilo again off of that. Maybe sort of like 300 grams, something like that, quite easily. I think the saddle on this runs at about 450 grams, so yeah, could lose a bit of weight there too. All in all, I think you could quite comfortably, for not much money, especially if you source stuff second-hand on eBay or something like that, you could probably for around about 150 quid get yourself easily around about 2.5 kilos off this bike, and having it riding a lot better as well. So I'll report back on that, guys, and let you know the comparison, how it feels with the better componentry on there and the better tyres and the lighter weight, less pork. I know it's a fat bike, but it doesn't have to be a heavy fat bike. Look at this. I didn't know if this was me being oxygen depleted, but look at that up in the sky. That is pretty cool. Wow. What an awesome, awesome evening to be out in the beautiful Sussex countryside up on the South Downs. Absolutely loving it, and loving the fat bike. 4-inch tyres. Oh yeah, it's the way to roll. Okay, so this is what it's like on the tarmac. I've put pressures up to around about 10 psi.